A routine shopping trip, a sister-in-law's story, and a car abandoned in a mall parking lot. When Nancy Renka vanished without a trace, the last person to see her alive stopped cooperating with investigators. This is the mystery that haunts her family to this day. Nancy Renka was a beloved member of her community, a wife, a mother, a friend. But one day, she disappeared. No signs of struggle, no body, no answers. What we do know is this: the last confirmed sighting of Nancy was with her sister-in-law, Louise Wender, and according to Louise, they spent the day doing something entirely ordinary, shopping for campers. But as investigators dug deeper, that simple story began to unravel. On the day Nancy disappeared, Louise Wender claims she picked Nancy up in town. The two women, connected by family, reportedly went camper shopping together, a seemingly innocent outing. Louise says she dropped Nancy off at her car sometime later, and that was the last time she saw her. But here's where the story takes a turn. Later that same day, Nancy's car was found abandoned in the Midtown Mall parking lot. No Nancy, no explanation, just an empty vehicle and a growing list of questions. If Louise dropped Nancy off at her car, how did that car end up abandoned? Was Nancy abducted immediately after Louise left? Did something happen during the shopping trip that Louise isn't telling us? Or is there a darker explanation? The timeline is critical here. Louise claims she dropped Nancy at her vehicle, yet within hours, that same vehicle was found empty in a public parking lot. The window of opportunity for something to go wrong was incredibly small, and that's what makes this case so puzzling. Investigators eventually uncovered surveillance footage, a video showing Louise Wender picking Nancy up in her SUV. On the surface, it seemed to confirm Louise's story, but instead of providing clarity, the video raised more questions. Because after that footage came to light, Louise Wender ceased cooperation with investigators. Why would a family member, someone who was reportedly the last to see Nancy alive, suddenly stop helping police? If the trip was as innocent as Louise claimed, why not continue assisting in the search for answers? The silence only deepened the suspicion. In cases like these, cooperation is critical. Law enforcement relies on witnesses, especially those closest to the victim, to help piece together the final hours of a person's life. And when that cooperation stops, investigators can't help but wonder what is being hidden. It's important to note that ceasing cooperation doesn't automatically mean guilt. People stop talking to police for many reasons: fear of being wrongly accused, advice from legal counsel, or simply being overwhelmed by the situation. But in a case where someone has vanished without a trace, silence from the last known person to see them alive is always going to raise red flags. With Nancy's body never recovered and Louise Wender no longer talking, the case went cold. But the facts remain troubling. Nancy was last seen with Louise. Nancy's car was found abandoned shortly after, and the one person who could provide answers chose silence. So what really happened? There are several possibilities. Perhaps Nancy was abducted by a stranger immediately after being dropped off, a tragic case of wrong place, wrong time. Parking lots, unfortunately, can be dangerous places, and predators sometimes target victims in these public yet isolated spaces. But investigators have to consider every angle. Could something have happened during the shopping trip? Was there a confrontation, an accident, or something more sinister? Family relationships can be complicated. Financial disputes, personal conflicts, or hidden tensions can sometimes lead to unthinkable outcomes. Without cooperation from Louise, without a body, and without witnesses, this case remains a haunting question mark. Nancy Renka's family deserves answers, and until those answers come, Louise Wender remains a person of significant interest in this investigation. It's also worth mentioning that in missing persons cases, the longer someone remains missing, the harder it becomes to find them. Evidence deteriorates, memories fade, and the chances of a resolution diminish with each passing year. The disappearance of Nancy Renka leaves us with more questions than answers. Where did Nancy go after being dropped off?
If she made it to her car, why was it left behind? What happened in those crucial hours between the shopping trip and the discovery of her abandoned vehicle? And perhaps most troubling of all, why did Louise Wender stop cooperating with police? Was it simply the advice of an attorney, or is there more to the story? These questions continue to haunt investigators and Nancy's loved ones. Without new evidence or a breakthrough in the case, the truth may remain buried forever. The disappearance of Nancy Renka is a reminder that sometimes the people closest to us hold the keys to the darkest mysteries. Whether Louise Wender knows more than she's saying, or whether she's simply choosing silence for reasons we don't yet understand, one thing is certain: Nancy's family is still waiting, still hoping, still searching for the truth. If you have any information about Nancy Renka's disappearance, please contact local authorities. Every tip, no matter how small, could be the break this case needs. Thank you for watching. If this case moved you, please leave a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Louise Wender knows more than she's saying? Or is there another explanation we're missing? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of The Dark File. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and never stop seeking the truth.